Connection, an essential subject from Vinaypedia. One must be prepared to offer the necessary respect and honor to the spiritual master. He should not be unnecessarily envious of his god brothers. Rather, if a god brother is more enlightened and advanced in Kaya consciousness, one should accept him as almost equal to the spiritual master, and one should be happy to see such god brothers advance in Kaya consciousness. A devotee should always be very kind to the general public in instructing Kaya consciousness, because that is the only solution for getting out of the clutches of MY. That is really humanitarian work, for it is the way to show mercy to other people who need it very badly. The word Bharatya indicates a person who faithfully engages in serving the spiritual master. One should give personal service and all kinds of comforts to the spiritual master. A devotee who does so is also a bona fide candidate for taking this instruction. The word Bhirjatavarjiya means a person who has developed detachment from external and internal material propensities. Not only is he detached from activities which are not connected to Kaya consciousness, but he should be internally averse to the material way of life. Such a person must be non-envious and should think of the welfare of all living entities, not only of the human beings, but living entities other than human beings. Anything not connected with Kaya consciousness should be understood to be sinful. Srila Prabhupada's books, lectures, conversations and letters offer a comprehensive presentation of this essential subject as seen in the Vinay's connection category. An introduction from his books is given below in the following 8 quotes. Quotes from Srila Prabhupada's books. The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 9.29, Samoha sarva bhtu namidvyostinaparya. I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all. The Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot be partial. He is always equal to everyone. Therefore when the demigods are favored and the demons killed, this is not his partiality but the influence of the time factor. A good example in this regard is that an electrician connects both a heater and a cooler to the same electrical energy. Armad Bh Gavatam 7.1. 12. A living entity is always connected with a certain amount of intelligence, but in the human form of life the living entity must inquire about his spiritual identity. This is real human intelligence. It is said that one who is simply conscious of the body is no better than an animal, even though he be in the human form. Armad Bh Gavatam 4.25. 26. Maharyadhyatara accepted the order of Vinaprastha, and at this stage the wife is allowed to remain as a voluntary servitor, but in the sannyasa stage no wife can stay with her former husband. A sannyas is considered to be a dead man civilly, and therefore the wife becomes a civil widow without connection with her former husband. Maharyadhyatara did not deny his faithful wife, and she followed her husband at her own risk. Armad Bh Gavatam 1.13. 30. A person who is very eager to accept sannyasa, who is detached from worldly activities, who has no desire for any kind of material facilities, and who is thus saved from repeated birth and death is known as Rama. When a sannyas lives in a beautiful, solitary place in the forest and is freed from all material desires, he is called Vana. A sannyas who always lives in the forest and renounces all connection with the world in order to be elevated to the heavenly planets, where he can live in the Nandana Kainana, is called Arya. Kaitanya Karitam Ta, Madhya LL 6.73. All the devotees connected with the Kaya consciousness movement must read all the books that have been translated. The Kaitanya Karitam Ta, Armad Bh Gavatam, Bhagavad Gita and others. Otherwise, after some time, they will simply eat, sleep and fall down from their position. Thus they will miss the opportunity to attain an eternal, blissful life of transcendental pleasure. Kaitanya Karitam Ta, Madhya LL 25.278. Our paternal family also came from this district and belonged to the same community. The Muliks of Calcutta are divided into 2 families, namely the Sil family and D family. All the Muliks of the D family originally belonged to the same family and Katra. We also formerly belonged to the branch of the D family whose members, intimately connected with the Muslim rulers, received the title Mulik. Kaitanya Karitam Ta, DLL 11.41. Lord Kaya was pleased with them, and since they all desired to have him as their husband, he told them, My dear well-behaved girls, I know of your desire for me and why you worshipped goddess Katayan, and I completely approve of your action. Anyone whose full consciousness is always absorbed in me, even if in lust, is elevated. As a fried seed cannot fructify, so any desire in connection with my loving service cannot produce any fruitive result, as in ordinary karma. Kaya Book, Chapter 22. As for protecting the body or abiding by the rules of society and state, certainly there are different activities, even for the devotees, in connection with the conditional life, and such activities are called conditional. Besides these, the living entity who is fully conscious of his spiritual nature and is engaged in Kaya consciousness, or the devotional service of the Lord, has activities which are called transcendental. Such activities are performed in his constitutional position, and they are technically called devotional service. Bhagavad Gita 9.30